The tale of the cursed puppet Jeffy. In a small and quiet town, a young boy stumbled upon an old puppet in his attic during a thunderstorm. This puppet was unique. It wore a yellow shirt with the word Jeffy boldly printed across it. Intrigued by this peculiar find, the boy began to play with it, unaware of the dark history it carried. As days passed, odd occurrences started to unfold in the boy's home. Objects seemed to move of their own accord, and the air was often filled with unsettling whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. The boy's behavior began to change too, growing more erratic and unpredictable, much to the concern of his family. Night after night, the puppet, Jeffy, seemed to gain a life of its own. Its once innocent smile took on a more sinister appearance. The boy, increasingly disturbed, started to feel an eerie sensation, as if he were no longer in control of his own actions. It was as though Jeffy was pulling the strings, manipulating him rather than being a mere toy. The truth slowly dawned on the young boy. Jeffy the puppet was cursed. His desire was to become human, to escape the confines of its fabric and stuffing, and for that, it needed a human soul to trade places with. Each passing day, the boy felt his own essence draining away, his autonomy slipping as Jeffy's influence grew stronger. In a final desperate attempt to rid himself of the puppet's control, the boy tried to destroy it, but it was too late. One fateful night, under the light of a full moon, their roles reversed permanently. The boy's consciousness was trapped within the fabric body of Jeffy, his human form now a mere vessel for the puppet's spirit. Lost and forgotten, the puppet containing the boy's soul lay in the attic, until one day, it was discovered by a YouTuber named Logan. Logan, unaware of the puppet's dark history and the trapped soul within it, found it amusing and decided to feature it in his YouTube videos. To his audience, Jeffy was just an entertaining character, but little did they know, the puppet held the essence of a real boy, forever yearning to break free from its stitched prison. Broken T Guy's haunted shift. The cursed hospital. Officer Broken T Guy, a man more accustomed to dealing with mundane disturbances than supernatural phenomena, responded to a distress call from an abandoned hospital on the outskirts of town. The hospital, long shuttered and the subject of numerous urban legends, was said to be haunted. Brooklyn, a skeptic by nature, dismissed these tales as mere superstition. As he stepped into the dark, decrepit halls of the hospital, his flashlight cut through the thick veil of darkness. The air was heavy, charged with an inexplicable tension. It wasn't long before he heard the first unsettling sound, echoing footsteps in the distance, as if someone or something was pacing the halls. Shadows fitted at the edge of his vision, too quick to be discerned. The equipment he had brought with him, a radio and a digital recorder, began to malfunction. The radio emitted a static noise, interspersed with what sounded like faint whispers. The temperature dropped, wrapping Brooklyn in a cloak of cold dread. As he ventured deeper, the haunting reality of the hospital began to unveil itself. He encountered the restless spirits of patients, their apparitions flickering in and out of existence. They whispered their tragic tales to him, the stories of suffering, of unethical experiments that had been conducted in the guise of medical advancement. The hospital, once a beacon of healing, had become a cursed tomb of agony and despair. Brooklyn realized that these tormented souls were bound to the hospital, their pain anchoring them to this world. The gravity of his situation dawned on him. He was trapped in this spectral nightmare, and his skepticism turned to fear. To escape, he needed to appease the spirits, to break the curse that held them and him within these haunted walls. Armed only with his wits and a deepening sense of empathy for these lost souls, Brooklyn sought to discover the dark secrets of the hospital. He navigated through the labyrinth of corridors, each turn revealing more about the horrifying truth of what had transpired in this forsaken place. As the night wore on, the barrier between the living and the dead seemed to thin, and Brooklyn's resolve was tested at every turn. Would he be able to appease the spirits and lift the curse, or will he become a permanent resident of this haunted hospital? Another whisper in the halls, forever echoing the lament of the damned. Mr. Goodman's cursed fortune, the price of greed. Mr. Goodman, A tycoon known for his vast wealth and ruthless business tactics stumbled upon an opportunity that he believed would cement his status as the wealthiest and most powerful man in the city. An ancient artifact shrouded in mystery and legend was said to have the power to multiply wealth beyond one's wildest dreams. Despite warnings of a curse attached to it, Goodman, driven by greed, acquired the artifact, dismissing the old tales as nothing more than superstition. At first, it seemed like the legends were true. Goodman's wealth grew exponentially, his bank account swelled, his investments bore unprecedented profits, and treasure seemed to flow effortlessly into his life. But this windfall came at a grave cost. As his fortune increased, so did the misfortune around him. His family and friends began to distance themselves, unnerved by the drastic change in his demeanor. The once shrewd businessman was now consumed by paranoia and greed, seeing threats and conspiracies in every shadow. At night, the true horror of the curse revealed itself. Goodman was haunted by visions of those he had wronged in his relentless pursuit of wealth. Their spectral figures appeared to him, their eyes hollow with accusation, their voices whispering demands of retribution. The luxurious rooms of his mansion transformed into a labyrinth of nightmares, each corner unveiling a new terror born from his guilt and greed. Desperate to break the curse and return to a semblance of normalcy, Goodman sought to undo the damage he had caused, but the curse was relentless. His attempts at restitution were met with skepticism and scorn, his apologies falling on deaf ears. The people he had once wronged could not forget nor forgive the suffering he had inflicted. In the end, Mr. Goodman was left a broken man, trapped in his cursed mansion, a prisoner of his own greed. The artifact, which had promised unlimited wealth, had instead stripped him of everything that truly mattered. His sanity frayed, he wandered the halls of his once grand home, a mere shadow of the man he used to be, haunted eternally by the ghost of his past actions and the relentless curse that he could never escape. Thanks for watching.